Today, we're going to talk about something that's quietly holding a lot of people back from building real wealth. It's called the comfort trap. And it's this deep psychological battle between our brain's ancient need for safety and the kind of mindset you absolutely have to get ahead financially.
Let's just kick things off with this quote, because it's so powerful. The three most dangerous words in life are just in case. I mean, really think about that for a second. It's the reason we cling to the safe job, keep things we don't need, and shy away from big opportunities. But what if that whole just-in-case safety net is actually trapping you and keeping you from your absolute best-case scenario?
And that leads us right into this idea of the comfort trap. You can also think of it as the allure of just enough. It's that mental space where we consistently, almost automatically, choose what's predictable and safe over what could lead to massive growth. It feels good, it feels secure, but man, it puts a hard ceiling on what you can achieve.
And this trap, it looks so familiar, doesn't it? It's that illusion of security you get from a steady paycheck hitting your bank account every 2 weeks. It's the comfort of a routine you know like the back of your hand. It's building a life that's specifically designed to avoid any big, scary risks. And for a lot of us, that just feels like the smart, responsible thing to do. But is it really safe? Okay, so let's get into the why behind this. Because this craving for safety, it's not some kind of character flaw. Not at all. It's basically a feature of our ancient primal brain, trying its best to make sense of a really complex modern world. To get why we fall for this, we've got to go back, like way, way back.
And there's a whole field dedicated to this called evolutionary psychology. It's all about how these survival instincts that we've developed thousands and thousands of years ago are still pulling the strings on our behavior today, especially when it comes to things our ancestors never had to deal with, like stock markets and career changes.
And this is where it gets really interesting. You see how these old survival programs create totally modern problems. That fear of the unknown, it used to keep us from getting eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. Now, it keeps you from starting a business. That desire for predictability, it helped us find reliable food sources. Now, it can trap you in a dead-end job. And herd mentality, great for safety in numbers back then, but today it can cause you to panic sell your investments at the worst possible time. Our brains are hardwired to spot immediate short-term threats, which makes long-term thinking feel completely unnatural.
So, if our brains are literally wired to play us safe, how does anybody ever break out? Well, it all comes down to making a conscious choice. A choice between two very, very different mindsets. This is basically the fork in the road of your financial life. All right, so here's the first major split. On one side, you've got the scarcity mindset. This mindset sees a world of limits, of not enough, and is always focused on what could be lost. It sees life as a single, finite pie, and everyone's fighting for a slice. But on the other side, you have the abundance mindset. It sees opportunity everywhere. It focuses on what can be gained, and it believes you can always just go bake more pies.
Now, this next point is absolutely crucial. It's all about how you see money itself. The consumption mindset sees income as a tool for today's lifestyle, to spend and to buy liabilities. And liabilities are just things that take money out of your pocket. Think a car payment or credit card debt. But the asset-building mindset, it sees income as a tool for investment. The goal is to own and build assets, things that have the potential to put money into your pocket, like a great stock or a rental property.
But this goes even deeper, because people with these two mindsets, they aren't just thinking differently. No, they are playing a completely different game. A game with its own set of unwritten rules, especially when it comes to the big three resources: time, money, and risk.
Let's break this down. Time. The comfort mindset trades time directly for money. An hour of work for an hour of pay. The wealth mindset, on the other hand, looks for ways to leverage time through systems or people or technology. Now, with money, we've touched on this. The comfort mindset sees it for spending. The wealth mindset sees it for investing. And then there's the big one, risk. The comfort mindset avoids it like the plague. The wealth mindset, it doesn't avoid risk. It learns how to manage intelligent, calculated risk. And at the absolute core of the comfort trap, you'll find this paralyzing fear of risk. It's the fear of losing the little you have that holds you on the sidelines, and that's what prevents you from gaining so much more.
The wealth mindset just completely flips this on its head. This isn't about being reckless or gambling. It's about pursuing intelligent risk. That means taking calculated chances where the potential reward is just massively greater than the potential loss.
Think about investing a small, affordable amount in a really promising startup, or maybe spending your evenings learning a high-income skill that could totally change your career trajectory.
So after hearing all this, you're probably asking, okay, so how do I actually get out of this trap? Well, let's look at a pretty clear blueprint for building this new mindset, piece by piece.
Look, escaping isn't about some giant, scary leap. It's really just a series of small, consistent choices. First, you got to embrace delayed gratification. It's like a superpower, choosing a bigger reward tomorrow over a small comfort today. Second, build a long-term vision that actually excites you, something bigger than just paying next month's rent. Third, you have to actively start looking for those asymmetric risks, the small bets with potentially huge payoffs. And finally, and maybe most importantly, you have to make asset building a non-negotiable part of your life, always funneling resources toward things that can grow for you.
When you boil it all down, this entire journey, this entire shift in thinking, it comes down to one really fundamental choice you have to make about your own identity. It's about deciding what role you're going to play in your own story.
So, I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. In the economy of your own life, are you going to be a consumer of the circumstances that are handed to you, or are you going to choose to be a producer of the value that you want to see in the world? Really, the choice is all yours.